Welcome back to another PowerShell video. Recently we've been talking about components, adding them to a form, not doing a lot with them. Last time we did a radio button. This time what we're going to do is take that radio button and we're going to expand on it a little bit. So it'll all become clear in a second. So last time we had this radio button here. Didn't do a lot. You could just select things, but there was no code behind that to actually do anything. It just displayed it. Now we're going to do something a little bit more. Press play on that, it's going to appear on the other screen. So I'm going to drag it across. But I did that intentionally because it's missing a little bit of code, which is the start position, center screen. So that puts it onto your primary screen in the center. So if I press play now, you can see that the window's appeared in the right place. So what have we got here? We've got red, green and blue. This time when we're selecting it, we want this panel here, which is actually the text box, to change its color and to change the text as well. And there we go. So it changes nicely. Let's have a look how we did that. Setting up the form as we've been doing before. We've got a label. That's the label that you saw, selecting your color. And then we've got these parts here. So we're creating a new radio button. The way that we're creating it is exactly the same as every other component. So it's a radio button there, and we're setting rad red. So we're doing one for each color. So each radio button that appears. We're doing points here. You can actually set it up as a new point. What I find that I do though is for lazy coding like this. You can just do that. So you don't have to create all these. That's probably the Microsoft way, but not my way. So we'll get rid of these as we go along. Just makes it easier for your code to read. Less text. Same with the size there. We don't have to have all that there, creating a new object for it. We can just say that the size, and remember it's in a string, is equal to that. We'll get rid of this one as well. There we go, a lot more neater. So we'll just hit play on that, make sure that we haven't broken anything. So I'll just hit F5 to play and it's all working fine. So we created our radio button, set the location, set the text to equal red. So that's the actual label that you see on each radio button. We selected true for the checked part because we want them all to be on and we want to be able to go between each one. So we want that to be on and then that to be on and that to be on. So that's the checked to be true. And then the last bit is adding the event. So like with a button, we did an on-click event or an add click as it is in PowerShell. So exactly the same as we did with the button, and we're putting our code between the curly brackets. So we're setting the color to red and we're setting the text to you selected red. And then most importantly, adding it to the control of the main form. So we've got the main form there, control, and then the function called add. Add your object to the main form. If you don't do that, it simply won't appear. So if we put a hash on, well, in the right place, hash on there and hit play, oh, we've lost it because we've not added it on. So we'll add that back on. And we've done exactly the same for the green and the blue, adding the controls to the main form. So these individual controls to the main form. And then finally we've got a text box. So creating a text box like we showed in the other ones and setting the location, the size, multi-line to true, read only to true, don't want people writing on it, background colour and foreground colour and so on. And then finally we're displaying the form. So there you go. Quite simple. So you can see how we're building more and more complexity into our code. So eventually we can build up a program like I showed you right at the beginning with the health info form that pulls up all sorts of bits of information, uses various different components. Okay, so I'll see you on the next video.